Hi, and welcome to the Sabbath Christian Church's online sermon. One of the most powerful things that Jesus said has to do with loving God. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, all your might. And that was said, he quoted it from Deuteronomy 6:5. And he told it to the people around him. This is the most important commandment, and he said everything else rests on this commandment. Shall love God with all your might. Now the first thing it says is to love. Now love has a rather complete, varied, and comprehensive meaning. What is that love, and how do we show it? Let's examine love first of all in the most powerful commandment that he talks about. And he also, John says to us, the one who does not love God does not know God, for God is love. So when we study love, we are returning the love that we got from God in the first place. Because we are created in His image, and language is a paramount part of all of this. And so loving God is very, very important, because He is love. And since we have God's Spirit within us, we have His love within us. We have to learn how to use it and everything else. But that's what it is. Now, there is an article that we had in one of the news magazines called the Ahab. The Ahab is a Hebrew examination of the root sounds, because we don't have root meanings in Hebrew. They don't have root meanings. We, therefore, ought to take a good look at the powerful meanings of Ahab. Now, Ahab means, first of all, in just general, and doesn't say much else of that in the Hebrew, means to have affection for. Can mean it in all respects, having affection for. Affection for a person, or anything like that. Having an affection. And it doesn't go into much more of that. But we can take the root sounds apart and examine them individually. The two root sounds for Ahab, excuse me, are Ab and Ah. Ahab. The Ab is father, and if you say Abba, as it says in the New Testament, and Paul, and they translate it as father, but the Hebrew really means daddy. The heart of love rests on the strong shoulders of Ab, our Father. That's where love originates from and comes from and is the most powerful part. The Father is the epitome of righteousness to start with, because God is. He is love. But love is shown in righteousness. Love exemplifies righteousness exemplifies love. Gives a good example of it. So a loving father is a provider. That's the thing that the father does, most important, or most of all, is to provide for his children. First important. Other things may be as important, but in different senses. So he is a wonderful provider. I mean, he provides everything for the family. I mean, just look at the world around us. All the food, air, water, you name it. He's provided it for us. Not just like the fathers today provide shelter for us and food and clothing and that kind of thing. Food, clothing, shelter, and transportation. So this is what fathers do. But our Father in heaven, our first Father, our most important Father, without Him there are no other fathers. He has provided everything for us. And He also is a caring discipline of the family. A loving father seeks to redeem his children from selfish, stubborn waywardness to his righteousness. The ah is also in another word, kwana, which gives us the root sound for creator. He's the provider, but he created everything for us. We think about this, the sun's up there to give us heat. The water's there. We have fresh water, the salt water. We can change salt water to fresh water, but it's there. All the atoms, they're there. All the life forms on the planet are there. He created all of this. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He created the universe completely and utterly. And scientists still have not discovered everything about the universe. They have their theories, they have their predilections, and as one of the teachers in the seminary said, science is out there to disprove the existence of the Bible, first of all, and second of all, of God. So the Kwana means to create and procure and own and have. It's complete and utter ownership God has of the universe, of the world, of the earth, of our lives. The Eban is an additional understanding of the Ahab. The Eban has the word Eb as a variation, but it means Ab, and it means to build. Now God created everything, and as we look through the creation, you see how He built things into the creation. He separated the waters from the earth. He put this there. He built that there. The stones. It has a sense of stone also. Strong, powerful. So you can see that the mountains are built up there. He put them there in a special way. But he built them there. He constructed a powerful earth for us to live on. And occasionally there are a few things that come along to disturb the outer essences of the earth, but it is a strong haven for us. The word also means to provide, and the word Yahab, where the Yah is added to the Ab. The Yah, of course, is the Yud of Yahweh, the eternal one, the self-existent one, the only one. Very few believe in that God is the sole existent, the eternal one, the self-existent one. There is no other. That's part of Ahab. That's part of love, because God is the only one. He doesn't want us to get into the deceptions of some paganism and to worship things He created instead of the Creator Himself. And as we know, He provided everything on the planet for us. The I Am. Him alone. Now we have another reference to God as to the Lord, the sovereign, the controller. He takes care of everything. He planned the whole planet, that it would run itself and take care of itself. He's in charge. He will not enforce His authority on people, because that would make them automatons. They say, why does God allow that to happen? Why does God say these things here? And sometimes it has an effect. Bad things will happen to good people. It has an effect of changing people, converting them, and doing things like that. But basically, God is not going to make people into animals. They can only do this much and that much, and build it into Him, and be a machine walking along that way. Because unless people do it freely, doesn't make any sense. And there are bad things that happen when people choose the wrong thing, and it can hurt good people also as well. But He controls everything according to His plans, and people have to understand that He loves us more than anything else. The Ahab also shows the Father protects us, saves us from all evil. It means clear, luminous lightning. God said light. First thing He said. And that gives us understanding and language. Clear and bold in His plans. Love desires, a longing wishes for obeying God's law. God gave us the laws. So that's built into the creation, and it is part of his nature. Love is the power behind God's infinite strength. And finally, and most importantly, perhaps, God is love. And what does he give us as the Father? He gives us life. The Chai. The I is the equivalent, Ah and Ahab. The power of love and giving life. Life grows out of love, as evidenced by children coming from loving couples. And that also has to do with the love also. To live without love is not living, but existing. To live without God and God's love is futility. God created us in love to love him first and foremost. How do we love God? Thoughts and word are insufficient. We love God by our righteous deeds. We love God by keeping the commandments, growing out of faith in Jesus. Amen. And thank you for watching and listening.